right, everybody. How's everyone doing? It's Leon here from Invicta Media UK with your boy Will. What's popping, Will?
All right. How are you guys? It's good to be here.
Yeah,
Been a
no,
while.
it's been a little bit since we've
Yeah.
chatted, man. And like, to be fair, like, the pre-E3 podcast that you guys did as well was like
Yes,
top tier, absolutely outstanding. Loved it.
that was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, now we are here for the good old Ubisoft Forward that is going to be happening in just, well, is it 14 minutes time now? And I'm quite excited to see what E3 is going to sort of present to us already. I mean, to be fair, like pre-E3, we've already had a fair amount of announcements already, which is pretty fucking wild. Like, especially
This whole big,
that
summer Game Fest.
Exactly. There's
Is it competing? I don't know.
What's that? Sorry.
Is it competing? Is it like, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe
more
a
new,
little bit.
it's all news. It's all news to us. That's good.
But I mean, let's get onto the Ubisoft at hand here, and let's just sort of like this, like, have a quick chat about what we're kind of thinking that we're going to see today, and what we're kind of hoping that we're going to see as well. I mean, in our little preamble that we were kind of doing, I think we were kind of sort of saying that we're probably going to see a lot of updates to games. So, I mean, what have we got there? Like Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I mean, they always have updates for that, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Then I suppose maybe some updates to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Maybe they might sort of do some more.
I was thinking that. I don't know if they tend to do DLC for Assassin's Creed, but I imagine there'll be some sort of news about it.
Yeah, and then I'm just trying to think what else there is. I mean, obviously, when you say something about like Nintendo had accidentally leaked something.
So, I mean, I just saw this earlier via IGN. There'd been like so many rumors anyway. We were just talking about how Grant Kirkhope, the composer of the first one, seems to have been teasing it over his social media. So, I think, I haven't seen anything since I've been home, but it seems that they're basically going to announce a Mario and Rabbids sequel, and that's confirmed. Something of Stars is Hope of Stars of Hope, I think it's called. So
we'll soon find out, won't we?
Apparently it's got a galaxy theme, so I imagine we'll see like Rosalina and all that bunch of characters, which will be fun.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be really cool. And then I'm just like, obviously there's some things that were kind of announced like a long time ago as well that we haven't necessarily seen much on, like Beyond. Was it Beyond Evil?
Good and Evil? Is it?
Good and Evil. That's it.
I've
Beyond
heard.
Good and Evil.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, that kind of dropped
off
the radar a little bit because I mean, because obviously we're meant to be getting the second one of that. I know that I think last year they may have showed something briefly, but we haven't seen much of it. So I'm hoping to see some more of that at some point. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
It's Ubisoft. Like, I don't know what to expect. Other than this leak.
Yeah.
It's probably leaked so that they get like a little bit more buzz going. Maybe, I don't know. That's just me.
Oh yeah, standard. Like that's what they want. They want that hype. Get on the hype train.
Exactly.
Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like they used to do it yearly, didn't they? But now it's not. That's not a thing anymore. They're kind of dedicating every 2 years, is it, to a game?
I think roughly? It's something like that. Yeah. I'm just trying to think what else there is. I mean, I haven't seen. I think they've just sort of said about doing something on the Crew 2 as well, but I think that's kind of thing beforehand that they've kind of said about that. I think it's actually on right now by the looks of things. So it looks like that game is still alive, which is pretty damn crazy. But yeah, I mean,
I was saying earlier it would be amazing if they did something with the Rayman IP, but if Rabbids are getting the spotlight, I don't think that they're going to bother unless he shows up in that game. This is the retro gamer in me, missing the old days of platforms.
I'd be happy for some Rayman as well. I'm down. I remember playing that on the PS1 back in the day and like absolutely loving it.
Here's a pitch. So they get Mario and Rabbids out of the way this year, and then next year they do a 3D Rayman with Grant Kirkhope doing the music for it. Boom,
mate! Like
that would be so fun.
That would be top tier. That'd be absolute top tier.
Oh, I'm a bit loud.
It shouldn't be, but I'll turn you down. But it might be on your end, kind of thing there, because it doesn't look like it's clipping on my end, which is the weird thing. But thanks for letting me know, Sherry, and hey, Soap as well. I hope you're well. Hydrate. We've been told to hydrate, so don't forget to hydrate, guys. Let's just. I've got my water. I'll drink some water.
Got a big boy here.
There we go. Nom 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 nom. Well, in the world of chat, what are you kind of expecting as well? And sorry, Sherry, you're rebuilding your computer. That's pretty wild.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously, Soap. Like, I'm not expecting you to answer that, considering you work for Ubi. Sherry, what are you expecting? Like, you got a new desk and you can't fit your monitor mount. Oh no, nightmare!
Oof.
Absolute nightmare. That sucks. Right, let's have a look here. Let's see what I can find.
That's about.
But yeah, it's not Robbins and Maria. Ubisoft. Let's have a look. Let's see what people are saying. See, we're absolute pros here. And like, I'm totally prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Oh fuck! How did I forget Far Cry 6? I'm such a knob.
They did that because they showed that off recently, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I actually missed that. So if they do show that again, I'll be happy because I haven't kept up with that. All I saw the interview in the Summer Games Fest. They had that interview with the actor, didn't they? Which was interesting. It was insightful, which is cool.
Definitely, and I know that there was sort of a leak recently from like a new Division game, Heartland. That
yes, we talked about that, didn't we? Yeah, in the
I'll
podcast.
Be very interested in seeing. I'm hoping we might see some more of that, and I know that Ubisoft are also working on a Star Wars game as well. I mean, I know it's early days at the moment. I think so. I don't think we're necessarily going to be seeing anything today on that, but if we do, that would be fucking epic.
Yeah, that's right. Because EA don't have the full rights anymore, do they? Is that right?
Yeah. Watch the Just Dance intro with the panda. Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot. They'll definitely do Just Dance stuff, won't they? Yeah,
22, isn't it? Yeah, 22. Right. It's just an hour of that, and then a half an hour like, oh yeah, Far Cry 6 is coming out, by the way, guys. Thanks. Check out the Nintendo Direct for our Mario and Rabbids announcement. That's it.
Right, let's get that up. Right, just need to make sure that's ready. Cool, we're good. What else we got here?
Oh yeah, Immortals.
Oh yeah, there was going to be
Phoenix Rising.
Yep.
They've already done quite a bit of DLC for that, haven't they? I don't know. Is it out yet? I can't remember. Is it all out yet? Is the question. I wonder if there's any more.
I'm just having a look. What else is there? Settlers. Oh yeah, they did the Settlers. I forgot about that game. Maybe we might see, because wasn't there meant to be one coming out in like 2020 or something like that, but then it just got postponed. Or maybe it was 2019 even. So I don't know. That's probably way gone, that one.
I can't say I know that game actually. I'm trying to have a look on their website.
It's like a sort of it's like a city building strategy kind of game. It's quite an old game, Settlers. But I think they were planning on like making a new one, but then it just kind of it got postponed, and I just don't know if it's ever going to come back. And then don't they have a pirates game as well? Like
yes,
Skull and Bones? I think that's what it was.
Something like that. It's like kind of based on Assassin's Creed's engine. I don't know if it's the engine or the Black Flag style.
You're right there, Soap.
My goodness.
that is some laughter right there.
I want that voice to like get the automatic voice to do that.
What else have we got? Weren't they working on an Avatar game as well at one point? UB.
Were they? Oh my god, that's the first I've heard of that. That would be. They just delayed it with each delay of the film.
That game went through like 57 dev hell. It was built on the AC4 engine. Oh, right. Okay. See that?
Wow.
See?
Okay.
Insider knowledge there. Right.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Yeah, they were working on Avatar, but then that kind of just disappeared as well. But I definitely want to see some Beyond Good and Evil, because like literally the last time that we saw anything of it, I think was 2018. I don't remember seeing anything after that. So it's been a long while. So I'm hoping that we're going to see some of that. But we'll just have to see what happens.
Oh yeah, I've heard rumblings about it. It seems to be quite a talked about one for the Ubisoft presentation. So we've got 3 minutes, don't we? It's very close.
Yep.
So they're just previewing the games that they have out recently, I imagine. Is that the whole?
I think at the moment it's like they've got sort of Watchdog Legion stuff. And you know what I can do? I'll just bring this up here so people.
I wonder if they do what they do DLC on that. I wonder. I feel like that makes kind of sense.
Possibly.
Oh, awesome.
Why is no sound coming through on that? Let's do that.
And because I've got a Series S recently, that's definitely a game that I'm curious about because it looked quite cool. But I've heard mixed things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of like the idea of it being really like true to being in London. Like that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Ubisoft seem quite good with those kind of games, don't they?
Oh, definitely.
They'll in the future they'll just announce a partnership with Google and just and do a whole planet game, open world, quite literally.
Okay. Oh, what's this? Is that Descenders? I think it's... Sorry, I'm just looking at the pre-show a little bit.
I'm watching as well. I do not recognise that.
Oh, was it Trials? It was Trials. Okay.
Oh, not like that.
that's thingy, isn't it? Immortals.
My bad.
I still need to play that. I got that on my Switch, but I just haven't had. I want to like really delve into it. If it's just like seeing it's such a big game. Is that far? Is this far?
You know, that's so just gonna be like, oh, you're playing it on Switch. What are you doing?
Yeah. To be fair, I got it just before I got my Series S, and now I'm like, oh well. Oh, is it? That's really cool.
You almost said something. Yeah. Yeah, so worked on Immortals.
Nice. Yeah, it's really cool. It looks really cool. I was a big fan of Breath of the Wild, so obviously, I know there's probably so many comparisons of that, but yeah, I like the look of it. Looks interesting. So, well, I'll play it on Switch and let you know what I think at some point in the near future. I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed 3 remastered on Switch, and it's my first time playing an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it actually.
The weird thing is that I think like I even though I enjoyed 3, I'm not sure if it was received as well as some of them kind of thing.
I didn't. I mean, I've been playing docked, so I haven't been playing handheld. So I don't know if it's more handheld issues, but I haven't noticed too many issues on docked. Like, I mean, it looks like an older game, but you know, it is. So
I think they're on about Immortals more on that kind
of thing. I see. I heard mixed things. I heard it's kind of good to have on the go, but you know, we'll see. One thing, do you think we'll see anything on that Prince of Persia remake?
Oh fuck!
Or have they fully like pushed that back now? That's the question. Yeah. Oh, I think it's starting now.
Right, cool. Well, we will join you after the show. So catch you in a bit, guys. Enjoy Ubisoft. We're going to enjoy it as well. So in a bit. Hello. What's popping, guys? I tell you what. That was a pretty fucking good show. Like
That was
I enjoyed
actually,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and
It was,
like 'cause
yeah, it had everything that you kind of would need, really.
yeah, short, sweet, to the point. You know, like they didn't fuck about. Like, and I'm fine with that. Like,
Mm. Yeah, I'm like I was saying before the show. I think like I think the only Ubisoft one I saw before was either last year's or the year before,
Mm.
and it was okay. It was just kind of there was a lot of talk and not too much showing, whereas this was good. Like there was something for everyone. I think, which is what you want.
Definitely, definitely, and I mean, right. I mean, let's sort of go over what we kind of saw there. So I'm just trying to think because I've only just watched it and my brain's already going. But obviously we saw that Rainbow Six thing, which is kind of like I don't know, Left 4 Dead esque kind of thing, with more of a kind of stealthy element to it, which I'm like, I'm down with that. Like I think that's kind of cool. On that kind of element, but we were kind of sort of saying it like during in the background as well. You know, that kind of thing is kind of being done to death a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, like it. I liked it until the point where it got quite chaotic, and then it was like, okay, like how the question is how much is this like how much are we going to be using the stealth, and how much is just the mindless shooting and kind of raiding aspect of it, because I think the balance is what is kind of a make and break for that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like I said, I kind of like the sort of the stealthy kind of element to it. That kind of like that interests me, like because I think Rainbow Six have always been kind of good at that kind of thing. So
yeah, that's kind of the game mechanic, isn't it? Really, almost.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it was nice to see some gameplay for it as well. So I mean, that was a nice.
I was a bit worried. I was like, okay, they're showing all this cinematic stuff, which looks sick.
Yeah.
But like, how was it play like? Is it going to be different to other games? Yeah, it has some cool elements. The set design was quite interesting. Yeah, and I kind of like the concept of it. I thought that was interesting. Yeah. I'd be interested to see how that ties into the gameplay in a meaningful way, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then what do we move into after that? Let's have a look. Was it Rocksmith after that? Or was it something?
Was that the first thing that they showed off? I feel like there was something before that. I might be wrong.
There?
No, it was Rainbow Six. You're right. Ignore me.
Yeah. And then I think it did go into Rocksmith after that. So obviously they're going into sort of more their subscription kind of model, and the fact of that you're not going to necessarily need like additional hardware and all that kind of jazz, which is it's kind of cool for the people that want to learn instruments out there and don't want to communicate with people. Then there you go.
I mean, as a musician myself, I probably shouldn't say that. That's bad to say. But like, to be fair, it's one of those things. I actually hadn't heard about this until this, so that it's quite an interesting concept. It's one of those things. I feel like it's a bit like the Wii Sports Ring Fit kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, you can go to the gym, yeah, you can do these things in person and do like, but if I don't know, if you don't fancy that, or you just fancy being at home and just doing it by yourself, and maybe not just watching a YouTube video and hoping for the best, that's a cool concept. If that new mobile app works as well as they say it does, that's really cool. That's a cool technology. I'll give that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it definitely looks like it's really going up that next level, and the fact of that, I mean, I suppose it's kind of annoying that they've kind of gone for a subscription model, but I can kind of see why they did it, because it means obviously they're going to have the funds to be able to actually update it further and actually sort of continue the service
keep running.
Such. But I don't know. I mean, I must admit, I've never tried it myself, and it does look very interesting. And if it's going to get more people playing instruments and that as well, it's a good thing to be able to get that.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, if I either the money or I don't know the time. I don't know what peripherals else I'd need, but yeah, it seems like something I would give a go. Why not? Like, you know, if I mean, I was saying the comparison to Ring Fit, I haven't been to the gym in like God knows how long, but I've been playing Ring Fit quite a lot, and it, you know, if it gets me doing what I need to do, then that's good. You know, if it's a video game, then all the more power to it.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. And then after that, we did actually have like a game that I'm actually sort of slightly interested in as well, which is the Riders Republic, where it just looks absolutely bonkers. It's like every kind of frigging mode of transport that you can ever wish for in like sort of extreme sports kind of thing wise.
Yeah, that's it.
It just it just looks.
What was that I said before? Extreme sports Fall Guys.
It just looks absolutely ridiculous, and I really want to play this. And it's coming out this year, isn't it? As well, I think it said September.
Yes, I think they said it was. Yeah.
So
it's one of those ones where, like, at first I wasn't too sure. I was like, okay, here we go. You know, the big mass online kind of game. But the more they showed of it, I was like, actually, if you could get a cool bunch of mates together and like give it a go and get into it, I feel like it would be a really good time.
Yeah, because like it's got like elements like trials kind of thing. It's got elements like of, you know, because like steep kind of thing a little bit as well. Like even like with looking at the world map kind of thing they had, and where their icons are kind of reminds me of like Forza Horizon as well. On, you know,
I think that was going through my mind, especially the bike like mountain biking. It was like, wow, this is like actually quite realistic. Like it almost feels like if you didn't see the rest of the game, you'd be like, oh, this is a serious mountain biking game, and then you see the rest of the game, you're like, oh,
yeah,
maybe not.
I know it looks absolutely.
But like they seem, the gameplay seems pretty fun. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, bring it on. I definitely want to play it. Like that is like, well, I mean, other than obviously the big announcement at the end, but we'll get to that in a bit. Like that's probably one of the standout games for me that I'm like, oh, I actually want to play that.
When it comes to the multiplayer aspect, hell yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And then we kind of like sort of heard a bit more about some of the kind of cross-platform stuff they're going to be doing for Rainbow Six Siege, you know, with linking up PC Stadia and Amazon Luna, which I definitely think is a good thing, especially with, you know, maybe the not so like big player bases on Stadia and Luna right now. It would definitely help things along to have actually more people to play with. And they kind of did sort of go on about another operator as well. We also did get our good old Just Dance kind of stuff as well, because it wouldn't be a Ubisoft show without one. But sadly no Panda. What's that about? Like...
What? I mean, I might just skip, like, not that I've actually got a Just Dance game, but I'm just definitely going to be skipping that now, because I wasn't guaranteed a Panda. I don't know.
I know.
Will it?
Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. We did sort of hear about updates as well for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That's coming, and I think some of it's really cool as well. The fact of that, you know, like being able to play sort of some more kind of historic kind of roles and that as well. I think it's very interesting on the way they're taking it with the Viking Age as such. It's sort of like a proper discovery.
They teased that kind of. They teased that kind of ending thing as well, which looked interesting. Some sort of supernatural aspect, you know, magical. Looks interesting.
It does look good. Then we saw about the TV and movie stuff that I'm just not even going to mention. Like, what was that about? Like, it just looked. Yeah.
Awful. I'm an Always Sunny fan, but the fact that you can't even watch that apart from Apple Plus.
Fuck Apple TV.
Yeah, Apple TV. Yeah. Like, I'm not an Apple advocate at the best of times anyway. So like, it just doesn't like I'm not compatible with Apple. But yeah, so it's just something that's gonna have to sail past me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely same for me as well. I'm definitely like I was hyped to see some more. Well, I mean, like a little bit more of Far Cry 6 as well. Because I absolutely love the actors playing the villain in this piece as well. So he was in Breaking Bad. I can't. You know what? I'm like completely blanking on his name right now, which is fucking ridiculous. But that's the way it goes sometimes. But he's an outstanding actor. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the full extent of his performance in this, and and seeing where they're going with it, and especially with the weird fucking trippy shit they had at the end there with the whole villains kind of stuff with sort of going into sort of Blood Dragon as such.
Like battle royale of all their villains, which is an interesting concept.
It just looks absolutely nuts. So I mean, like the Far Cry series is like has been one that I've always come back to as well. Like every time it's sort of come out, I've always picked it up because, like, I feel like they've always done really well with the narratives in their sort of like open world kind of games, Ubisoft in general. But I think Far Cry is kind of like it's kind of top tier in open world kind of thing. Along with Assassin's Creed, they're kind of like same kind of levels. I found.
Yeah,
but
I get the impression. This is my brief experience, but I feel like Assassin's Creed kind of looks at the history, whereas Far Cry maybe looks more at like kind of, I guess the conflict. I guess the kind of the conflict based. I wouldn't say history lessons, but yeah, I guess like they were pushing villains really.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, you like AC? Oh, hell yeah! I love some Assassin's Creed. Like my dressing gown is actually like an Assassin's Creed 3 dressing gown kind of thing. Like just
amazing.
Throw it out there. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, but I kind of dropped off it. Like I dropped off it for after like Black Flag, because Black Flag I just didn't really get on with that much, and then I came back for Origins and I absolutely loved Origins. I thought they did a great job with that, but I'm still yet to play Odyssey and Valhalla, which I 100% do want to give them a go at some point. Faux show.
I was just saying earlier, like I've just gotten into I've been playing Switch obviously until more recently. So yeah, I've just started 3. Yeah, really cool concept and how they capture history and all that kind of vibe. Definitely gameplay elements of Prince of Persia, which funnily enough we didn't see. We were talking about that earlier. But yeah, it's kind of a cool combination of what I feel like Ubisoft had worked on before as well, but just bringing in all these new elements. So yeah, I'm really interested to play like the future games. Kind of just go through it. I'm actually currently streaming the 3rd one on my Twitch, so that's been kind of a fun adventure.
Nice
tackling such a big relatively big game for Switch.
No, I didn't play Syndicate. I played a little bit of Unity though. I did play a little bit of Unity. Not.
Where was Unity set? Syndicate was London, wasn't it?
Yes, I can't remember where Unity was set now. Thinking about it, I'm sure Soap will probably let us know in a sec. France. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, that was the one that they've used for, wasn't it the fire, wasn't it? They used it as a base for the Notre Dame.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I know what you're on about. Yeah. That's cool.
Which is again like that's a perfect example of like how like useful, like not useful, but like how informative these games are, as well as like gameplay just being kind of fun.
Definitely. And obviously we kind of spoke about it a little bit before the show as well, but obviously we did have the older Rabbids pop up.
Oh yeah, just as expected. Again, like I mean, as a Nintendo fan, I'm still catching up on so many Switch games because I got it like a year late. Long story short, really, but yeah, I've still let's play the first one, but the gameplay does look cool. As I saw it said in the chat, like I'm not. When Rapids came over through Rayman and just stole the show, I was like, ugh, what have they done? They jumped into the Wii kind of gaming for the masses kind of movement, and now Rapids have just taken over. But the fact, one, that the gameplay sounds really cool, and again, Grant Kirkhope doing the soundtrack, I'm always all for that. Like, yeah,
Hell yeah. And I suppose
yeah.
like the real fucking showstopper was definitely seeing the Avatar game. I mean, damn, this game looks absolutely beautiful. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone noticed out there, but did you notice that it didn't say anything about Xbox One or PS4 or at the end there? I mean, obviously this game looks completely next gen, and it doesn't surprise me that they're leaving it behind.
Yeah, it's probably easier for the devs, to be honest.
Yeah, it's finally happening. It's finally happening.
I didn't know about this until you mentioned it before the show. So yeah, that's really cool. I was saying during the presentation, like the graphics are almost just a step away from the actual film itself, which is incredible. So yeah, I almost think I'm kind of glad that they're just saying, look, this is a next gen game, full stop. Really?
Yeah, no, definitely. I just can't believe on how good the environments look there. They just look absolutely stunning, and like the lighting as well of it. It just just looks so good.
Yeah, and another thing I was saying as well is it's really funny. I didn't realize that this was a game that was coming out, because just recently with the Forbidden West gameplay, I was literally thinking while watching that, like, this is very Avatar. Like, I feel like an Avatar game would be really cool. And then boom. So yeah, it looks really cool.
But there we go. I mean, that was the show, and I think, you know, they did the right thing. They were just fucking straight onto the point, just getting through everything. You know, none of that fucking boring like fucking filler shit. It was straight to the point, and I like that. And I'm hoping that the rest of E3 is going to be like that as well. Yeah.
I part of me wonders if having to do it digital has made a lot of them think about what it is that they're, and like how they're presenting it. Where, because you know, they can't waffle. There's no space or time really to waffle. If people are sitting at home, you know, they need to make sure that the tension is always there, always on them. So yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a trend we see throughout E3, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I remember rightly, Xbox were pretty much like games like last year, and obviously they specifically said Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. So in other words, I definitely think it's going to be all about the games. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow on that level. And then we've got the Square Enix Presents on tomorrow evening as well, which I am unbelievably hyped for, because obviously we've heard rumors of the Final Fantasy Origins kind of thing, which is meant to be my Team Ninja, kind of be like a sort of Dark Souls-esque kind of thing. I think that's going to be very interesting. So, but whether we see anything of that, I don't know. I think it's really interesting though, just going back to Ubisoft on that level, that, you know, there's some like glaring omissions, like what's going on with Beyond Good and Evil 2? That just like, I haven't seen anything on that in a very long time. And is it still happening? Are they still doing stuff? Like, I'm really surprised that we haven't seen anything on that. Then I'm just trying to think what else Ubi's got that I'm like, what should we have seen? I think it's probably about it.
Was it Beyond Good and Evil that had some? I remember in our podcast we were talking about developments. Oh yes, Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, of course, as well. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that we just haven't sort of seen certain things for a while now. But then I suppose we've gone through, you know, a fairly difficult year, you know, with everything going on. So I suppose it's just been a bit difficult. Hopefully, we will, see some things will see the light of day and like not just get canned forever. But unfortunately, I think that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
That said, obviously, like you said, with the pandemic and stuff, it's completely understandable. I don't know, personally, I almost prefer when they just don't say anything, and rather than just be like, oh, we're still working on blah blah blah. Because I don't know, I feel like there's been a few instances of that before, and it's like, well, okay, we hoped that anyway. Just don't worry, let them get on with it, and it's they're a business, let them keep staying busy. I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point as well. So like possibly a lot of projects are not far along enough to show. But the thing is that like
exactly.
with like Beyond Good and Evil 2, for example, like it was announced quite a while ago. So you would have thought that we would have seen more, but like I said, with everything necessarily going on, it's probably halted things quite a lot. And we get it at the end of the day. It's one of those things. Fingers crossed, we will see it at some point. What are you going? What we got it? I do think more transparency is better.
Yeah.
In the case of Death Hell, when the only updates you get is okay, no, fair enough.
Yeah. I think updates in terms of like, I don't know. I just personally, I don't know if E3 is the place for stuff like that. I respect when devs do that for sure. Like, I mean, this is going to be my personal big one, but Metroid Prime 4, when it was literally a video gone up, and it was like update about Metroid Prime 4, and the whole thing was, at face value, a letdown. But that's cool. Fine. Don't just do what you need, take all the time you need. What's the famous quote about a good game is a delayed game can be still can be good, but a bad game released will always be bad. So
yeah, no, definitely. I to be fair, I suppose I'm all for them holding on to it as long as possible until it is in a state where it's ready, because obviously we've seen many games in the past. I mean, like, obviously the biggest one recently being like Cyberpunk kind of thing recently, where obviously that's kind of didn't necessarily go particularly well for them. But I mean, at the end of the day, they were under pressure from like, investors, the fucking shareholders, like the publishers and everything. So like, you can't necessarily like properly like blame the devs for that. It's more they were under pressure, like that, and plus the game was so fucking big, like as in like it was so hyped up that they wouldn't have been able to win either way of them doing it. If they would have delayed it further, it would have pissed off people. Like, and the fact that they brought it out in the state that it was, for like the older consoles and that, like, and without being transparent about it, it's hurt them as well. But I feel like they were just in a no-win situation there. I feel for them. So like I said, I'm all for games like just being ready, like for like I don't care how long it takes, like but obviously, unfortunately, when it comes to money, they're like those fucking shareholders are like, nah, mate.
That's it. That's what I was just thinking. You like the layman who buys video games maybe just doesn't really think that there's a lot of that kind of pressure going on. So it's like they were releasing holiday season last year, big money maker. They'd also obviously they'd already postponed it into next gen. I feel like it was a very tricky situation when it came to Cyberpunk, because you can't advertise. Didn't they have an Xbox One console that was themed under 20 like Cyberpunk, and the game wasn't even out yet? So you can't just suddenly be like, oh yeah, sorry guys, it's only next gen, because it just won't run.
Yeah.
Because that's just going to piss so many people off. But at the same time, I feel like the best they could do is like, here it is. You can play it. There's next gen, but just don't worry. We did promise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I always came from a standpoint, especially seeing next gen as like seeing like what that kind of game was. It was like, if I'm gonna get that, it's gonna be on next gen. That's just a personal opinion.
Yeah.
Even if I had a PS4 Pro or Pro or Xbox One, I would just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. I'll wait till the hype dies down, or that kind of thing.
In my opinion, I was sort of like, what were they kind of expecting, like playing it on that generation as such,
Such a big game.
It's just the way it goes, man. It's the way it goes. But that's why I'm really happy to see like the fact that with Avatar kind of thing wise, that we didn't have, Xbox One there, PS4, it is done. It is over. Like that generation is done now, and that's fine. Like it's okay.
Drawing a line in the sand.
But I mean, like, the thing is that with Microsoft kind of thing wise, obviously they're very much going towards their kind of cloud gaming kind of thing. So in other words, they're kind of going on that kind of vibe that it doesn't matter what you're playing on as such, you're going to be able to play it, like the fact of that, already like we can play on our phones kind of thing, like the latest kind of Xbox titles kind of thing that were in their studios and that. So on that kind of level, I think we're not going to necessarily have to worry about the consoles as much going forward. I mean, obviously we're still very much in the age of hardware kind of thing, but it is going to be it's going to be very
I know
a very different future.
Xbox did put out that statement about how they will still want a console of some description.
That's right, they did.
I suppose it would be the only
they said they're already working on hardware. Yeah, they're already working on the next hardware. Yeah.
Well, the only thing I can compare it to is like, a Skybox or something, to get your TV. Technically there are all these other services to watch these things on, but just having, I don't know, I get it as well, because they're going to also, if they're selling to, countries that maybe don't have such intensive internet services, they're going to need a local machine that can run these games.
No, that's an absolutely outstanding point there. Like, because like I think we kind of forget here in some sense we're quite spoiled kind of thing with our internet here. I mean, and in some regions it's even fucking better, kind of thing, like in some different countries. But there is many sort of developing countries that just their internet is kind of like dial up in some sense. So you're right. They have to cater for that wider audience at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think that's
a great point.
That's kind of why I almost think it's quite clever that they've done this whole subscription-based thing. I mean, that's what I've got with Series S, and because I wouldn't really be able to afford a next-gen console at this stage. But and Series S, it's the lower end of that, but I can still play these games. I can still, I've got Game Pass ready to go. Like the whole setup was really cool. I mean, when it came to the new consoles, I was definitely more leaning towards PlayStation 5 because it looks sick and obviously is just more powerful. I don't know. Is it more powerful? Debatable, but yeah. It's Series S, Series X is meant to be like quite the beefy boy, isn't it? But
that's right.
Either way, the fact that you can get a system like this, and we're literally talking about countries that maybe don't have such strong internet. That's an option for them, So I think they'd be definitely keen to keep that going.
No, you're right. We're definitely not out of the hardware game yet, but we can see. No. We can kind of see where it's going. Like, because I mean, like the fact is that we're going very much more towards like the digital kind of consoles. Just the fact of that, we're both Sony and Microsoft going with the, their digital variants of their newer consoles kind of thing. It kind of like you can see where the future's going on that kind of level. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to watch it and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it really for our quick little look at the Ubisoft kind of thing. Do let us know that what you thought of the Ubisoft conference as well, because obviously this is going to go up on our YouTube afterwards, so please do definitely go down in those comments there and let us know what the standout game was for Ubisoft there. I mean, obviously Avatar, come on, right? But let us know what you think. I'm very interested to hear about it, and I'll definitely be in the comments there as well. Just replying and having some fun with you guys as well. Now, for those who are joining us live on Twitch right now, I'm going to be back definitely tomorrow for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. That's from 6 o'clock tomorrow. That starts. So I should be on probably about 5:45 or so to kind of talk about that kind of stuff. So definitely come and hang out then. Then after that conference is over, I'm going to take a very short break, and then we're going to get straight into the Square Enix Presents, which I am 100% looking forward to big time. I want to see some Final Fantasy shit, hopefully, because that is the big nerd that I am. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be back for some Nintendo goodness, and I know Will is very excited about Nintendo.
That's my guaranteed watch there. So I'm definitely I may be in tomorrow's ones, but Tuesday is my I'm spearheading that one, that's for sure.
That's good. I'm there. I'm all over it. I'm like, I can't wait, Will. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't remember what time it starts. Is it 5? I think it's 5 UK time.
I think it is 5. Yeah.
I'm meant to be working till 5, but I'm gonna try and I'll just have my laptop on the side, do a bit of sneaking. It'll be good. I'm gonna do a bit of we'll have a little talk of what we think we might see.
Hell yeah. Good. No, I'm looking forward to it. Well, I mean, thank you everyone that has been joining us in chat today. It's been awesome having you guys there. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and we will definitely catch up with you tomorrow. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you then.
Yes, guys.
Boo-boo!